With you on this, I'm Carrie Candy, and with me is New Jersey's own Billy the Beaver. Hey, Billy.
I'm not wearing pants.
You're not wearing pants, that's true. Billy, I'm wondering, has someone ever appropriated your culture and dressed up like a beaver in a demeaning way?
There was this one Pornhub video, but that was just the title.
I'm so regretting asking that question. Well, recently there's been a lot of talk about cultural appropriation, and especially during Halloween, because people are dressing up as another culture and they're taking flack for doing it in a demeaning way. And I mean, what about dressing up positive and reflecting a positive thing about someone's culture? People are asking this question. And also Queen's University in Canada, I guess they had a big Halloween bash and they took a lot of flack for having offensive costumes. Have you heard about this?
No, I think that as long as the Halloween costume's sexy, it's fine.
Well, let's see what our panelists think. Who do we have with us today?
Oh, well, sitting over here, we've got the worst haircut to be talking about culture. We have Daryl, the pocket-sized gentleman, Connor, and the terror of the East, Lisa.
Well, welcome everyone. Lisa, dressing up as someone else's culture, good or bad?
I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of, especially too, some of the stuff you see, it's like a ceremonial and whatnot, and it's important to that culture. I think it's just kind of taken away from it, making light of it. I don't think it's. There's other stuff to dress up as. Use your imagination. So I don't get why people get upset when people are offended by it. Just just find something else.
Find something else.
Yeah, just find something else.
And Connor, what do you think of this?
Well, I think you've got a great panel to talk about. There's three white guys. This is great. Yeah, I tend to agree. It's as long as it's not done in a demeaning way, and especially when it's like a ceremonial, like Native American headdress in that culture, you've got to earn that. You earn the right to wear that. So just for fun, let's walk down the street, and that doesn't matter. But at the same time, if I saw a guy walking down the street in a kilt, what the heck?
No biggie.
No biggie.
No biggie. Daryl.
I agree with Connor. As long as it's not going to be something that's done in a demeaning way, right? I mean, I'm a white North American male. I have no culture. I have to take from everybody else's.
I have no culture.
I have no culture. Ask my friends.
I'm British. Our culture is just every culture that we've happened to contact. Over
Yeah, you guys appropriated all the cultures.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I've got a hat made out of your grandfather.
Oh, Billy, did you hear that?
Yeah, I know. Harry Potter's throwing hot fire.
So, Billy, do you think this is good or bad?
Well, I think it's fine as long as it's like not like something horrible like Sexy Klansman or something.
Well, let's take it away from costumes for a moment and talk about music. I mean, Eminem is famous for using other cultures' riffs in his rap music. What do you guys think of that?
You know what? Music is an expression. And so I think that if you're going to be putting out music, you shouldn't be stuck with just doing one thing. Is it going to be Zamfir, master of the pan flute? That's all you can do if you happen to be in a particular race, or you can only have African drums if you are African. No, I think that you should be able to use any type of music as a homage to your own music and to create your own. I think that's what will help music get better.
Okay. How about you, Connor?
I tend to agree. It's music. It all depends on the person. I can't tell you how great it is to be listening to music and suddenly bagpipes come in. Like that's the last thing you expected. It's great. But yeah, I don't see like. And again, as free white people, what culture do we have really? Like,
Lisa, what do you think?
Well, I think it's probably a little different for music, if people are using it as a way to kind of bring, because that's sort of bringing it together, right? That's like a fusion almost, so it's a little different. It's like when I listen to Great Big Sea and they do that song.
Of course you do.
Yeah. They do this song with the country singer, they do Friday, and so it's like two different kinds of music coming together, which is it's bound to happen, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a nice way to bring people together.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
our panel is, you are comedians, right? Is there a fine line between what's funny? I mean, where is that line between what's funny and sensitive? Insensitive.
I think that if you're going to tell jokes, if you're a comedian and you're going to tell jokes, and people are coming to listen to you tell jokes, then they can't be offended by it. It's what is expected. So, yeah, maybe as a comedian you can get away with saying some things that you probably otherwise wouldn't. I mean, there's a lot of comedians that make their entire living. Lisa Lampanelli, her entire living is made by saying inappropriate things.
Yes, saying the things we never could imagine saying.
Oh yeah. Main thing, did someone laugh? Perfect. Billy Connolly's famous for that as well. He doesn't pull punches. He's incredibly offensive to everyone that goes to see his show. And that's good. And if someone laughs, then it's great. I believe there is a line, but if you know what you're doing, you know where that line is. You kind of gauge your audience, right?
Lisa?
Yeah, I'm a professional comedian. I'm going to tell you that no, you don't go out there with the intention of offending people or insulting people. There's a way to like to say that I can tell a joke and people laugh and that's the point. That's not the point. You can do it without, because to me, when somebody tells a joke that's just offensive, it's just racist, it's just whatever, that's like farting in church. Anybody can make people laugh by farting in church. It's there's no intelligence, there's no thought, there's nothing. But you guys are bringing up like Lisa Lampanelli and Billy Connolly, great comics, but there's more. It's not as on the surface as people think it is. So yeah, I do feel like as comics we have a job to do and we have a role to play, but you can't just go out and do things for the sake of just thinking that you're going to get a laugh, and who cares about this entire race of people that I'm going to ostracize in my audience because I got these 5 white dudes to laugh.
And that's why she can say the N-word on stage.
New fee. New fee.
Hot button question. Okay, so if you could culturally appropriate the person sitting next to you, what would you do? Daryl?
Caber toss. Because what man doesn't want to throw a giant stick in the air? Am I right?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Connor?
Yeah, I'd agree. You know those videos of like the Marines and they're all training, there's 20 people lifting up one log, and then in Scotland you've got one dude doing it for fun. So yeah, cable toss, it's great.
Lisa?
I think I'd give them pumpkin spice lattes and Uggs and make them, they'd be my basic bitches. I think that's what we do with these guys.
How about you, Billy? What would you do?
I think white privilege would be nice to have, or opposable thumbs.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. Be sure to like our videos, share us on Facebook, and subscribe.